In this video, we're going to be covering a topic that comes up every so often. I sometimes wrestle with it myself, is when we go to cut a new design. Is there a way that we can save on our template material? And certain designs are going to allow us to save on our template material. So let's take a look at this design right here. This is a design of the day, a recent design of the day that we post a new design every day for our design of the day members. And so it's Save the Hooters. So we have our crystal color. And then we have a brown color, and we have kind of a gold color, and then our eyebrows we did in a different color. Now, of course, this is just how we designed it. You don't have to have it this way. And so, for example, let's take the eyebrows, for example. We could, here's that template for the eyebrows. So you can see there's a lot of material being wasted here just for a set of eyebrows. Now, in theory, we could take our eyebrows and actually cut it in the same color that we use for the brown of our owl. So it's really up to us how we want to handle certain situations. But the question is, when we go to prepare this file for cut, is there a way we could merge templates and save some money? And really it just depends on how much fiddling you want to do with the end result. So for sure, in this particular example, let's ungroup this. When we open up an EPS file in CorelDRAW, it comes in grouped. So for sure, we're going to do the crystal template separate, right? So we're just going to right click on that and group it. So for sure that one's set. Now what to do with the rest of these? Well, I would probably cut, for sure, I would cut the body separate. So let me just move that over here, and I'm just going to right click and group that together too. So for sure I'm going to cut the body separate. Now these next three, that's where I have a decision to make. I could probably merge all three of these. And so what I would do to start with is just select that boundary and group them all. So you can just select the whole boundary, right click and choose group, or you could use your keyboard shortcut. Right click and choose group, and right click and choose group. Then by using these weed boxes here, we could actually just select all three of these, and because we grouped them together, we're just going to hit the C and E key and group them together like that. Now, so imagine this as we're preparing this transfer. What we're going to do is we're going to probably do our crystal first, then come into our brown, and then we're going to come do this one. And what we can do is we can take a piece of our hot fix tape, we can cover up everything but the eyebrows, for example. Pick up the eyebrows. Then we can cover up the eyebrows, and we can probably come in here, sweep in all of our gold stones for the beak and the feet, and then we could probably just manually place the two eyes if we wanted to. So you are going to save quite a bit of sticky block material. Now here's the thing though, when we go to cut this template right now, we actually have three separate weed boxes, right? So what we're going to want to do is select that whole group, right click, ungroup. So there should be, actually we have to group it together, and then right click and choose ungroup all. Just a quirky CorelDRAW thing, and delete two of those weed boxes. So I'm just selecting them, hitting the delete key. So now I only have one weed box left. So now I can go ahead and move that over here. So we could just cut it just like that. We could do that. Now we may not want to do that because we might be cheap. I know I am. And there's a lot of wasted material here that we really don't need. So here's, if you could picture this, here's probably how I would handle it. And again, it's really up to you to decide from a productivity standpoint what you want to fiddle with. But let me just give you a concept here. If I'm not making 1,000 of these, if I'm just making a few, this might be a way to save some material. So let me explain. Generally speaking, we start with the biggest template first. And when I mean biggest, in terms of dimensions, height and width, which in this case is your Hooters. Okay? Then the next template. And what I would do, rather than cut all this entire block, let me just ungroup it, show you what I would do. Really, I only need to maybe cut that much, right? Because I can still use these corners for alignment. That's the beauty, right, of our color flock material. If you're using sticky flock, your sticky flock material. So what I would do then is I would take a piece of hot fix tape and I would cover up like half of the original template. Now picture this. I'm going to group this together so you can see this. So I've laid down my stones for Save the Hooters. I picked it up. I then move my next template right on top, like so. And that didn't line up very well. So let's line this up. There we go. So you see there's my next template on top. Now the reason I put down the hot fix tape on the original on top of the Save the Hooters is so when I'm brushing in these brown stones, if some of them trickle off over here, they're not going to get stuck in these holes, right? Because the hot fix tape's covering it up. So then I would go ahead and brush in the brown stones, lift those up, and then likewise here, same thing. We can stretch this back to here, something like that. And again, just like previous, a little piece of hot fix tape if this one is not as wide as this one. And probably what I would wind up doing, let's go ahead and group this together. Probably if I was really making this for real, I would probably make this the template that I merged, make that weed box the same size. So let me just do that quick. So I'm going to ungroup, right? And then I click on that box again and just pull it right over. So I'd probably make it the same size. So we have the main template is full size, and then the two ones on top are partial because we really don't need all this extra material, and just cover up the original template, cover up part of it with a piece of hot fix tape. So when we're brushing in these other stones, they don't trickle off and get stuck in these other holes. And so that's a real basic concept to reconverting these designs and merging different colors together to save on our template material. So hopefully that will help you when you go to cut your next design, that you're being a little cost conscious when we're making our rhinestone templates. Thanks for watching.